Yo, what's up? In this video, I'm going to show you how you can use the Neo Shatter fuse inside of DaVinci Resolve. So you can see it gives us this really clean shatter effect that isn't possible in DaVinci Resolve natively. So let's just dive into the video. So let's just start off by grabbing some text or whatever. So I'll just go into this one right here, and then we'll see it's a shatter. Right now, I'm just going to grab a Neo Shatter here. So how to do that is just press and shift and space, and then you can type Neo Shatter, and then we get the effect. So as you can see by default, we get a lot of shatter displacement, and we just drag that down quite a bit. Around here at frame 90, we want the shatter animation to happen. So I'll just add a keyframe at frame 0, and we'll just go to frame 130 or so, and then I'll just drag it up just a tiny bit here, and then we can just go into the spline, makes a zoom to fit, and then Control A, right click, to ease, and then add cubic, and just drag this one over a little bit and this one up, so it goes really fast in the beginning, the displays, and then it slows down. So you can see now it shatters and it looks super clean. So first thing we have here is the pattern. So if I just drag down the rotation, it'll be easier to see. So the first one is the glass, then we have the grid, just a grid displacement, looks pretty default, and then we can add bricks as well. So it's this kind of hexagon kind of look, and then we have the real hexagons as well, and then we have the triangles. So as you can see, it's a bit hard to see in this text here, but it's just a bunch of triangles. For now, I'm just going to be using glass, and I guess that most of you is also going to be using glass for the most part, but it's pretty cool to have other options as well. Then we can change the rotation here. So it's just how much is the element rotated in the animation. So we can drag it up to 10, for example, and then you can see it'll just rotate a whole bunch. I don't really like the look. I'll just leave it at default, so we just get some minimal rotation. Then we can add a fade, for example. So if we make the displays a little bigger, you can see it more easily. So it will just fade a little bit once it gets out to the edges, and the scale down will just scale the size of the things down a little bit once it goes out to the edges, which also is pretty cool. The random seed here is just like, so you can see here on the one we just used, it's here, but if we just go forward a little bit, it will look different. So if you don't like the look of what you got, you can just change the seed, pressing the reseed button. And also forgot to mention it, but the shatter count is just how many shatters we have. So if it's really low, there's basically no shatters. If we drag it up a lot, we will have a bunch of shatters. So I actually, on text especially, I like it to have it out at 500. But the only problem with having it at such a high amount is that if we have it at such a high amount, it will be a little bit more render heavy. So the placement here of the sensor is just where it shatters from. So if we want to shatter from this point up here, we'll just drag the sensor up to that point. So as you can see now, it shatters out from this point, which can be pretty cool on some things. I don't usually do it on text, but if you're working with something you want like a bullet to hit and then it explodes from that point, you can do something like where you change the sensor value. Also, you can see it looks pretty clean here, right? But there's something missing. So what you can do is just go to the settings here, and then we can enable motion blur, and then it will just look a little bit more clean, the animation itself. And then we can just drag up the shutter angle and the quality if we want to as well. But this will also make it more render heavy. So this is pretty much how you can use the Neo Shatter fuse. So if you haven't already got the Effects Core Pack where you get this effect, you can check it out down below. And if you have any questions, you can also leave them in the comments. Have a great day out there, and I'll see you in the next video.